Painting protects my feelings. When I paint, I express something that I do not dare to say and put into words. So I express it in colors and shapes and traces, and it becomes a sort of a coded message that only I can read. I'm Julia Dalton. I'm an abstract expressionist artist. I live and work in Paris, and I'm originally from Ukraine. Painting is such a big part of my life that there is no boundary between my studio and my home. My home is my studio, and my studio is my home. I refuse the boundary. I even have a second shower in my apartment that I use as a storage for art supplies. Large canvases give me freedom. It's the freedom of gesture, just more freedom to express myself. When I paint, my body movements become different. Well, first of all, abstract painting in large format, as I'm doing it, could be quite a physical exercise. So sometimes I'm crawling on the floor, bending over the canvas. After a while, my movements become very decisive, very brisk, very sort of jerky in a way, and they could come across almost as violent. I have studied interpreting and translating. I'm a certified interpreter, and as life goes on, I became aware that not all things in life could be translated. For example, the feeling of leaving your home and not being able to return, the feeling of losing the future that you have imagined for yourself. I'm much more comfortable expressing those things through painting, putting them on the canvas in color and shape, than using words to describe them. I have left, but I've never arrived. I have left Ukraine 27 years ago to go and live in Germany. And that's what I thought when I left Ukraine, that I will be moving to Germany and I will spend my life there. I will build it there and stay there. But life turned out to be different. So after spending 11 years in Germany, I moved to the United States. Then I spent 7.5 years in Belgium. Now I've been in France for 10 years. This gives me a feeling of having left Ukraine, but I have not really arrived anywhere. France feels like home at the moment, but it might be not the last stop. The same is true for my paintings. And that's why it feels like in my painting, like it is in my life. There is a point of departure, but there is no point of arrival. One thing that remained unmoved is the memory of the place where it began. It's not a nostalgia. It was never nostalgic, really, about the place I have left. It's more like a compass. Wherever I am, even if I'm lost, it always points to where I come from. Some of my paintings carry the names of cities in eastern Ukraine: Donetsk, Lugansk, Gorlivka, Mariupol, Bakhmut. Those names, for me, are like the open doors for the viewer. The viewer is invited, stands in front of those open doors, and it's the choice of the viewer whether to enter or not. You're in front of it, you feel the threshold, but it's your decision whether to engage or not. I do not impose anything. So during COVID, I worked on a project that I called La Vie Parisienne, so Parisian life. I have found old window frames from an Haussmannian building. They date about 200 years old. And so I've removed the glass from those windows, and I've installed the canvas instead, and I painted the canvas and the window frames together. For me, at this point, the window meant two things: connection and separation. Sometimes, people wish to have their intimacy, protect their lives, so they would close their windows, close their shutters, close their curtains to be protected from the outside world. But a lot of times, and especially during COVID, the only way to connect with the outside world was to open your window. Since 2014, I've been supporting the refugees fleeing the war in Ukraine. And since 2022, I've been working with the Ukrainian refugees here in Paris and also managing a refugee center. Sometimes I get crushed by the stories that I hear from the refugees. Especially in the beginning of the war, that was the case, that I would just come home, lock myself in the room and cry next to my bed on the floor. I couldn't take it was too much. And the next day I would get up and go back because I felt needed. One thing I have learned from the refugees: in any life situation, it is essential not to lose hope. Recently, I've been trying to incorporate that into my painting. I've started working with medical gauze. I incorporate it into my paintings, and for me, it symbolizes the process of healing. I see my paintings as open doors, and the question that they ask the viewer: will you enter? The question that my painting asks me is, what is tomorrow? Is there going to be another country, another life, another day?